All right, hello wine drinking people. It's Tuesday, 4/20, and we got a great show for you today. As you know, Tuesday, we've got an extra long show in the What I Drank Yesterday section because we got to cover Saturday brown bag, Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday in the store and Monday night. So lots of drinking we did over the weekend. And Saturday, brown bag, another stellar lineup for brown bag. Some of the highlights, the 1988 Chateau Beaucastel. I don't know that anyone picked this out as her own wine, but it was showing brilliantly. Still a lot of red berry pie-like fruit that you find in the Southern Rhone. Some nice garrigue, that lovely fresh flower, dried herb, and spice you get from wines from the Southern Rhone. This wine was brought in by Dr. Emery Jaffe, my eye doctor. Who fixed my eyes. By the way, those of you that know me for longer than a year and a couple months, I used to wear glasses. I have not for the last year and 2 months. Thank you, Emery. Excellent job with the eye. Still working perfectly. Okay, next up, Ray Glenn brought in a few old California wines. What a surprise. The surprise was most people that had no idea that these wines were quite as old as they were. A 1974 Pinot Noir and a 1984 Chardonnay from Hanzel Winery. Both of these wines were surprisingly good for how old they were. As Ray pointed out, one of the wines was older than several people at Brown Bag. And the 74 Pinot actually showed nicer, as I mentioned before, than the Chardonnay. Still had some nice bright raspberry fruit to it and some fresh acidity to the finish. A really nice bottle of wine. Thank you, Ray. Someone snuck in a Martinelli Three Sisters 2007 Pinot. Very typical, overblown California-style Pinot, black raspberry fruit, exotic spices, floral notes, over the top, but still balanced. I liked it a lot. And then a late entry, the 2004 Lynch Bage. Beautiful wine, absolutely stunning. The 2004 vintage, providing some great values from Bordeaux. Excellent work. Thank you, Dan, for that wine. Okay, and Saturday night, my second trip up to Celio Restaurant at the Boca Resort, which is now run by the Waldorf Astoria group. And another very nice dinner. We sat in a private room there that was big enough to accommodate 20 people. There was only 13 of us, so it was very comfortable. The theme tonight was vintage magnums. And we started out with the 1995 Perrier-Jouet Belle Epoque, a wine that was created to celebrate the great century coming. The 1995, several people thought was bad, but I saw the bottle completely gone. So for a bad bottle, or slightly off bottle of 95 PJ Belle Epoque, the wine was still pretty good. And I brought a bottle of Billecart Simon Rosé, one of my favorite bottles of bubbly. This wine was fantastic. And to start the evening with the Reds, we had a 1998 Chateau Beaucastel. Beautiful and very nice with little lamb riblets that they served it with. You get that gaminess from the Mourvedre, which Chateau Beaucastel has got quite a bit of. And the 98 starting to soften up and show really nice, but still a baby. And then we had a little shrimp risotto, which neither of the wines we served went very well with that, but the 2004 Clos de Tarte was better than the Beaucastel or the Bertani Amarone, which was actually surprisingly good. You would have never thought. But the 2000 Bertani Amarone showing a little bit of that gaminess, but a lovely freshness and savoriness that you get out of old school Amarone like Bertani. The 2004 Clos de Tarte, a lot of flowers, a little mint, a little bit of truffle in this wine. Very exotic, very complex, and still years ahead of it. But some of the 2004s starting to show very nice from Burgundy. Next up, with the short ribs, a little 1985 Chateau Mouton Rothschild. The 85 vintage from Bordeaux is drinking exceptional at the moment. Even though this wine still got legs, it has that classic Mouton coffee, dark chocolate, exotic Asian spices. And as I said, still had pretty big tannins, but starting to soften out and really show nicely. This wine was one of the wines of the night, definitely the wine of the night up to this point. Next up, we had the 2001 Insignia, Joseph Phelps Insignia out of Magnum. A great vintage in California, one that's still got quite a bit of legs to it. Lovely blackcurrant cassis fruit, lovely chocolate in this wine, smooth tannins, really showing nice. And then, where do you go from there? 1994 Alzero from Quintarelli out of 3 liters. The holy grail of wines from Verona. This wine's a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon and Cabernet Franc, made the same way they make Amarone. They dry the grapes. Quintarelli being the master. This wine, even though it's from the 1994 vintage, which is not a great vintage in Verona, was the wine of the night for me. Sweet blackberry, black cherry, liqueur-like fruit in it, exotic spices, dark chocolate, just a home run and drinking beautiful. Thank you very much, Bill Gilla, for bringing that the wine of the night. And then, of course, we had to have something sweet to finish off the evening. You can't go anywhere but sweet from Al Zero. And we ended with, well, Dr. Doug Martin was in the room, so you knew there was going to be Chateau Yquem on the table. The 2000 Chateau Yquem, which I finished my glass before my wife, Tony, dragged me out of the room, reminding me we had another party yet to go to. So I just got a sip of the 2005 Vermont Lafon, which was nice, and the 1997 Quinta do Crasto port, vintage port out of Magnum. Everything very nice. The wine definitely outshining the food, but the service in the room, outstanding. Thank you very much for the folks at the top of the tower. Okay. I can't talk to you about what happened the rest of the evening. My attorneys told me I shouldn't mention it, and about what happened Sunday. So we'll skip right ahead to Monday in the store. Monday, we just had one supplier stop by. Thank you, Pat Carmody, for breaking the dry spell at about noon, which is a good time to stop by on a Monday afternoon for me. I need something to drink about then. With the 2007 Chapoutier Belarouche Côte du Rhône, a wine we've been waiting to come in for a long time. This wine, typical 2007 Rhône, really concentrated, juicy red berry pie fruit, lovely floral garrigue quality to it, and very soft tannins, very smooth, drinking very nice, great freshness. This wine is a steal. It should be around $12. We didn't get the price from Pat, but I'm guessing that's where previous vintages have been. That's where this one should be. Well, that's all we had in the store, but there will be wine with dinner at my house, as there is every night. And last night we just had a simple baked chicken dish, which was very nice. Sometimes simple can be very good. And we started out the night with a little Mirabella, one of my favorite sparklers from California. This wine was really nice, a full-bodied bouquet of almonds, a little nutmeg spice, some fresh-baked apple pie-like fruit, and some nice lemon citrus on the tongue, very zesty, really nice, more than just a simple quaffing sparkling wine. Then we had a little bit of Chandon Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, one of my favorite wines with chicken, Pinot Noir, but the Pinot Meunier, as we've mentioned in this show before, very similar to Pinot Noir, just a little bit of more animal, a little bit more nutmeg, kind of exotic spice to it. That wine showed brilliantly. And then we just got in 10 more cases of the 2006 Mas Deux Solanquès, one of my favorite wines from the Priorat, especially since the price is down about 20% on this stellar vintage of 2006 Mas Deux. Check out the review on that. And that's what I drank yesterday. What are we doing this week? Well, we've got a couple of events this week. Unfortunately, our big event Friday night is sold out. The 2004/2005 Brunello tasting here in the store. Call up if you want to be put on the waiting list for that. And then our Bordeaux tasting at Cafe Max tomorrow night. We still have a little bit of room. A little bit left for that. We have about 30 people signed up so far. It's going to be a big event, but we got 12 wines. Should be a lot of fun. Our very first Wednesday tasting of the season. We do these tastings at Cafe Max every other Wednesday night at 6:30. Chef Oliver Sassi and the rest of the group in the kitchen will be serving up some tasty treats for that Wednesday night. You can call us or Cafe Max for reservations for that. What am I trying to sell you today? Today, one of the wines we are going to be serving tomorrow is on the chopping block, the Domaine De Chevalier, one of the great properties of Pessac-Léognan from the Graves region of Bordeaux, the closest area to the city of Bordeaux. This wine is one of the marquee producers of this region. I visited the estate several times. Beautiful property. We'll put a picture up on the email for you to see that if you've not been to Bordeaux. But something that's very rare, the second wine of these great properties from a great vintage. We have the 2000 vintage of Esprit de Chevalier. The vineyard is a blend of approximately 65% Cab, 30% Merlot, a little bit of Cab Franc, and a little bit of Petit Verdot grown in there. And the white wine from this property is stunning. We did 25 vintages, going back 25 vintages at the Great Wine Seminar with the owner, Olivier Bernard, a few years ago, and this was a revelation for me in terms of white Bordeaux. It was amazing. The color of these wines seemed almost identical. Sauvignon Blanc, very resistant to oxidization. This wine is a blend of approximately 70% Sauvignon Blanc and 30% Semillon. Check it out, Domaine De Chevalier, on today's email. That's all I've got for you today, folks. This is your host, Andrew Lampasone, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.